On the fourth day of Christmas, my yarn fairy brought to me 4 Jaeger jackets, 3 Scotch wools, 2 robin gloves, and a pattern by Pexels, please. So, yarn fairy, do you really expect me to knit a full suit? I know my aunt knit a skirt once, but I haven't tried that before. I would love to hear from you in the comments if you have. The first Jaeger pattern, number 3691, is from the 1960s. And yes, the pattern includes a coat, as well as the jacket, skirt, and a cap sleeve sweater that you see. That is great value from one pattern to get the full ensemble, but a lot of knitting and wool in Jaeger's pebble spun, spiral spun, or classic 3-ply. In fact, the coat in the largest size 38-inch bust needs 33 ounces of wool alone, or nearly a kilo of wool that you'll have to carry on your back. Also, yarn fairy, I have a point to pick with you. You brought a pattern with mock pocket flaps. You know on this channel we want pockets. If you don't, you can watch my short on We Want Pockets, please. The yarn fairy says, oops. You should always knit in your own patch pockets though, to sit under the mock pocket flap. It does look very Jackie-O, don't you think? The skirt's made with a simple elasticated waist. Next jacket is for a 34 to 38 inch bust, and it's very similar in style, using the same wool, but with an easier V-neck this time, and it's probably from a later season, as both the Jaeger logo has changed colour and the pattern price has inflated from the 6d, or pence as it was in those days, on the last pattern to 8 denarii, or pence, on this pattern. These are all UK's pre-decimation pences, of course, when there was 240 pence in the pound. However, yarn fairy, you and Jaeger redeemed yourselves, as this jacket actually has pockets. So maybe they had feedback on their earlier season's version and decided they had to put some in this time. So if you want to know how to knit a pocket, this Jaeger pattern number 3813 might be a good pattern to have a look for. The third of the Jaeger jackets is Jaeger's pattern number 4000, called Jacket in Jaeger Celtic Spun, in sizes for a 34 to 40 inch bust. I love that colour in a deep tweedy green with a cute collar too. We will forgive the lack of pockets this time, as I would probably wear this more as a cardigan than a jacket, but I'm sure it'd be warm enough to wear out. From the late 1960s it was 1 shilling, noting that that was 12 pence in a shilling before pre-decimalisation. The fourth Jaeger pattern today is called a lumber jacket, and it's pattern number 3686. Again, this was in Jaeger's pebble spun for chest sizes 38 to 44 inches. Although modelled handsomely here, I think this could be unisex, especially for those of us wanting larger sizes. Do you notice the change in price on the pattern from 6d to 8d before it was sold? That was inflation for you. It's made up with a zip fastener and has raglan sleeves. Just like yesterday, the yarn fairy has brought you an extra treat for being such a great community, liking, subscribing and commenting this year. So today's pattern by Pexels is from 1977. For once I can be precise, as they actually started to date the copyright in the 1970s. This is pattern number 1444, called Ship Shape. A set of family cardigans. The trim, fit and finish is emphasised by lines of cable patterning, it says. And thank you, yarn fairy, these actually have pockets. Yay! And the sizes, as it's due to cover the whole family, go from a 26 inch to 42 inch, and it's knitted in DK wool. Thank you, yarn fairy, for another great day of patterns. I'm back tomorrow to see what the yarn fairy will bring us on day 5. And if you haven't watched some of the other days, there's a playlist on the channel. I'm the knitting patternista, and I collect vintage knitting and crochet patterns to use, and you're welcome to join me on this wonderful adventure. I would love it if you subscribe, Patterneasters, so you don't miss the next episode and enjoying all of the vintage knitting pattern fun. Hopefully you'll find some inspiration for your next cast on. And if you missed some of the previous days, including some of the patterns for a fuller bust size, you can click here. Until next time, Patterneasters, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy knitting!